You said you'd pay $5 million if anybody could prove any part of it was false. He proved the entire thing is all false. He definitely deserves the $5 million. And now he's using some other kind of wacko idea that he shouldn't have to pay it. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. How dare they not believe my lies?
All right, so we got 4 people. Your people. One of them is me.
Yeah.
Let's see if anyone comes.
We'll see if anyone comes.
I doubt about it.
It's a Sunday night. It's a Sunday night. What can you say? Hey, so anyways, and let's see what else has happened this week. Not a whole really lot in the news. I mean, as far as all the controversy. The Dow's not doing bad. Stock market's doing great. I mean, I was kind of looking at the numbers last week, because people keep going, the stock market. Okay, stock market. Okay, the stock market. So what? Stock market's what stock market is, and where does it really fare? How is it doing from 1 year ago? I mean, any guess, JG, how the stock market's doing compared to where it was exactly 1 year ago?
It's probably a plus minus of 5%.
Okay.
7%, something like
okay, that. Are you ready for this? I was kind of shocked myself. It's down 2.44 points, which is 0.01%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close to 1% down. It's 0.01%.
Yeah, but I knew it wasn't something extremely negative or anything.
No. It's, I mean, all the naysayers when it dropped to 28, that was back around the 1st of October, oh my God, recession, we're going to, crash and everything else. And here it is back to almost as high as it's ever been. I mean,
I hear you. It really isn't as bad.
No, I mean, the economy, I mean, the naysayers out there, the economy is doing terrible. I think the Fed kind of screwed it up a little bit, but I think they've kind of seen the light. I think their old matrix that they were using from from their playbook from the 1920s isn't working so well in the in the 2020s anymore.
No, probably not.
Yeah, and I think they're starting to learn that we really might have to change some of the monetary and and economic policies we've had, based off of the fact that they were all written at a time when internet sales didn't exist, global markets didn't exist. You didn't have the movement of money the way you do today. I mean, I was trying to figure out where to move money into, and I was struggling trying to figure out, what's good investments versus bad, because a lot of the stuff that I did in the past doesn't look, doesn't work out the way I had hoped.
I see you started paying for StreamYard again.
I was thinking of asking you for advice, JG.
No, don't do that. Well, you can take it. Just do the opposite.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I said, hey, if there was a stock you were going to short, which one would that be? And then I'd probably buy it for a long-term haul.
Yeah. That's the way to go.
Yeah. I mean,
when I buy a stock, Scott, I expect it to go down, and it does every time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I usually do too, but for different reasons. I mean, I kind of looked.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about short selling.
Yeah, I looked at Bed Bath and Beyond, and they said, and I sold mine off like 3-4 months ago, and I didn't do too badly on it. But if I would have held on to it, but like I said, you have to hit that certain point, because if you hold on to it too long and they go into bankruptcy, now it's worth nothing, so you lose it all. You gotta. I didn't figure they were going to hold out this long and file bankruptcy, but
Yeah, well, they teach don't try to time the market, and
yeah,
for the
no,
most part, I don't. But
I mean, I always buy a stock with a definite sell point, both up and down. Um, I mean, somebody says, "Well, why would you buy a stock and then put in a sell order the same day?" Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, you got to kind of look at it.
well,
Let's see.
that's called day selling, Scott.
No. I don't do it in the same day. I mean, I'll set. Like I'll buy something for, let's say, $110 a share, and say, okay, if it hits 120, sell it. I mean, that's just walk away at this point. If that happens in one day or 10 days or 30 days, just walk away from it. I mean, don't be greedy and then look at it again. Hey, is it still worth buying it at 120? Shooting star, Bruce.
The shooting stars here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the program.
He's actually coming in through your channel because he ignores me. He stays away from me. I think he likes you more. Oh,
I would. Well, if I was him, I would like me better too.
What's not to like?
Hey, Scott, did you hear about my debacle on MK's live stream a couple weeks ago?
No, what did you do?
I had joined MK's live stream,
Yeah.
And it was like a new person in there, like a wannabe like passport bro or whatever. And he went on MK's live stream and Bruce was co-hosting with her. Mm-hmm. And he was being very belligerent and trying to start a fight with Bruce.
Yeah.
And, Bruce, he wasn't having it. He wasn't going to have an argument. And
No,
and I joined and huh?
Bruce is a lover, not a fighter.
Right. Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
And I joined trying to be like peacemaker and just, have a conversation with the guy. Like, everything's cool, no worries. And he was like really talking shitty about the Philippines and all this stuff. He's like, oh, I they go back to the hut. I go back to my Marriott.
Yeah.
And just acting like a complete douchebag, basically.
Yeah.
And I was trying to play peacekeeper, and then finally he said something about the vow. He said he'd never been there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, oh, I was there. I didn't like it. And he's like, you didn't like one of the most safest cities, whether in the Philippines, whatever that stupid statistic is. And I'm like, no, it felt like a police state to me, and I didn't really care for it. And then he said, oh, well, then he was there. And I'm like, well, did you just lie when you said you'd never been there, or because whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it ended up in a degenerative screaming and cursing match.
Did you win though?
I don't know. Bruce kept muting me, and but they were muting the other guy too. But the thing is that he remembered that you can just unmute yourself when someone mutes you on their channel. I completely forgot about it. So I'm like, why is Bruce letting this guy talk?
Yeah. Hey, I always tell people, he says, if you don't like the Philippines, that's fine. Nobody's asking you to go there.
No, it had nothing to do with that. It was the guy was just being a douche.
Yeah.
I mean, then he was trying to play the race card after all of that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then I get
really?
the one I like is the ones that try to bait me into like this argument about liberalism, and so, well, what is a liberal and what's a conservative? Right? It's like cancel culture. What's cancel culture? Is cancel culture saying, hey, don't buy, don't shop at this place or don't buy this product because of their beliefs? Or, is it don't get Bud Light because, they happen to have, print 6 cans that had some dude dressed up as a gal on a can? I mean, what's cancel culture?
Yeah, you see, Scott, I'm trying to tell a funny, interesting kind of story, and you're degenerated into politics.
Well, it's not politics. I'm just asking that question. I mean, it's where when do people, like you're okay, so you
Yeah,
don't
Budweiser apparently lost a fortune because they hired basically a lady boy to do an advertisement for them,
yeah.
and
Well, they didn't really lose any money. I mean, they lost what? They're saying their market cap dropped about 6.5 or $7 billion. Right. This is out of 120 billion.
yeah, but that's huge.
Yeah, but it's
Just
a
for
lot.
that, just for that though.
Yeah, but see, then again, that's stock prices. Who loses? Stockholders. It doesn't affect the company at all. I mean, I've had this conversation. Hey, Seth's Travel Vlogs. I've had this conversation before with people. What is a stock? A stock is a piece of paper that you have. And
Yeah,
what's
I
it worth?
know. It's the same story you told a million times,
Yeah,
and no one
what's it worth?
cares,
I
man.
mean, yeah. So if they lost 7 billion in stock value, it really doesn't affect the company. Their sales.
It's not even the effect on the company that disturbs me. Is that people actually find this shit important?
Oh yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, I mean, they printed 6 cans with this dude, gal, whatever, face on it, and it was like,
And as being a ladyboy lover, like you always say I am. Why will
yeah, yeah, yeah. Ken
I'm
said he's
fine with
drinking
the
one
ad.
right now.
I think it's fantabulous.
Yeah, yeah. But I always tell people, I said, he says, I mean, does it bother you that much? I mean that some guy dresses up like a gal and dances, prances around. He said, that we gotta cancel that.
Why would anybody care about that?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I mean, you see it now all
You see,
across.
what I don't like about it is that by just having the discussion, you're like giving credence to like just complete stupidity.
Well, I'm thinking back. I'm thinking back. You know,
I think
what
I seen one interesting political thing, and it was I forgot which governor it was, but it was like the governor who I forget what it was, but it was like in the state where like the transgender thing is a big thing. And she
Yeah,
said we have 400,000 people in here, and only 2 people ever applied for it.
yeah.
Like a woman and I'm like, so if this is so insignificant, why are we even discussing it?
The savages here.
Mark, the Savage King. And I'll
So
even
anyway,
forgive you that you went to Scooch Channel and not mine, Mark. How dare you?
is he in yours or is he on mine? I don't know. What does the link thing mean? Does that mean they're on your channel or they're on my channel?
Oh, it looks like
He's on your
no.
channel. See?
Yeah, he's on my channel.
I
Okay,
haven't seen
that's
him
how
on
it
mine
should
for a
be.
while. He's boycotting me.
I don't know anybody else that gives Mark the proper due.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I went out and I did buy some men's cologne that said Savage on it, just because they said, oh, just in case I ever meet him, I could spray myself down with Savage and be protected.
Yeah, and does Bijo wear oh God, what is that? A laundry pin on her nose?
I don't know. I haven't actually opened it up and smelled it.
Nah, I'm sure if she can eat durian and that kind of and dried fish, then she could probably handle it.
Yeah, don't get her started on durian and dried fish. Yeah, today she decided I let her cook, okay? She decided she's going to make beef soup. Right? And I told her,
Yummy.
well, yeah, I said, okay, so I don't know about you, but if you take, I told her, I said, first of all, she took a perfectly good steak, okay, a tenderloin, chopped it up into little, like 3/4 inch cubes, right? Then threw it in about 4 gallons of water and boiled
What was it? What is me doing in your house? You're a vegetable.
Well, she eats that stuff. I mean, this was for her. This is for her meals, okay. But she put it in like it is like a gallon of water, 3-4 quarts of water minimum, boiling. Drops this beef, this tenderloin. Now it's been cut into tiny little pieces. throws it in there and lets it boil for 45 minutes. And I was like, she said, well, you got to cook it first.
All right, I'm calling BS on Mark King and Shooting
Okay.
Star. They just like, oh, just happened. I seen JG's first. Yeah, whatever.
Oh, no, it's just, yeah, that's hey, that's okay. You can just admit it, Bruce. You like JG more than me.
He should.
Absolutely. I mean, if it wasn't for JG, I wouldn't have known who Bruce was.
Exactly, and that's the case for a lot of people on
Yeah,
YouTube.
he made Bruce famous.
No, I didn't make him famous. He works
Yeah,
hard.
you
at it.
did. You did. You did. You actually made him famous. Mark's saying the same thing. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the Philippines that they take beef and they think that you have to boil it, for 30 or 40 minutes, to cook it. But I tried to explain to her, I said, you realize that just drains all the flavor out of the actual beef.
Hey, listen, I would like to take tenderloin and make shish kebabs out of it. That'd be nice.
Well, that's fine. Okay. But here, take the tenderloin. Take the tenderloins. Right?
So you're saying that because it's like a stew or a soup, that it should be of a lesser quality, that you cook it up and make it tender.
Well, if you're going to just boil it, yeah. But here's what I'm saying. Here, take your tenderloin, chop it up, then boil about a gallon of water, throw it in there for about 30 minutes, then put it on the skewer and cook it.
Why would they do any of that?
Now, that seems to be the Philippine way of cooking beef. Because they're always afraid that if there's a little bit of pinkish or reddish to the meat, that obviously it's bleeding and you're going to die.
Mark is talking about Jasper in the Philippines. Do you know that name?
No.
Yeah, so it's like this guy who had like 500 subscribers, and like within a week he was up to 10,000.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of
because you know what? I'll tell you though, what I did, I watched a couple of the guy's terrible at videos, but he was showing a place that I don't see that often, which was BGC. And BG, like if you don't want to like go sit somewhere and not have access to anything Western ever, then that's fine. That's easy to find. But like if you want to like, especially when you first get there, if you want to like kind of adjust and live in a place in the Philippines where you pretty much have access to anything you would want to get your hands on, you'd have to pay a little bit more for it, but you can get it.
Yeah.
BGC is that kind of place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dumagetti's getting to be that kind of a place.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's more of a it could eventually, but like BGC, like everything is just like there.
Yeah, here Mark's bringing up that if he wants to have a rare steak, he'd have to cook it himself. Yeah. Ken brought up the fact that yes, panais can ruin good beef. Unless you.
RMA, welcome to the program.
RMA, welcome. We got here. But Jasper, I've seen a lot of that. Like when people first moved. Mark's saying he moved from BGC to Boracay. Yeah, but when a lot of they first start out, from the Philippines, it seems like a lot of people, rush to their channel, like hoping to get some kind of new insight.
Yeah, there is none.
Yeah, and
it's the same thing. Like, but he's going through. They all go through the same things.
My friend BT, God bless his heart. I told him, I said, hey, you're becoming the vlog of the street cats, street cat videos. The first 100 were cute, but the 4 a day, 5 a day is getting a little old.
Yeah, but like for me, it's like they all go through the same thing. When you first get there, I was shocked at this, Manila, blah blah. It's all the same, and then it gets it gets into like just ridiculous things. Like there's this one guy, World Zoom, who I can't stand.
Cool.
I think his name is World Zoom. He talks like a robot and all.
Oh, okay.
And oh my god, he just the 2 week millionaire. If I have to see another, they're comparing like people who are just going on vacation or holiday or whatever
Mhm.
you call it from your country
Yeah.
to people living there. And it's
Oh,
not the same thing.
yeah. Speaking about, there he is. Bam! Check out the Rileys.
The Rileys is here.
Yeah. So, anyways, here. Well, no. See, what I've seen with a lot of the vloggers in the Philippines lately is, I mean, it's the same tired old, things again and again and again. I mean, how many times can how many times can you, walk through a wet market? How many times can you go grocery shopping? How many times can you go to the, to the sorry? I mean, how many times can you walk through the neighborhood? Now, how many times can you show a any type of bamboo structure?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. They all say that first of all they don't watch each other,
Yeah.
but they all come up with the same video, like 6, 7, 8 days in a row. One does something that gets views, then they make a video on the same topic.
Yeah.
Just all magically delicious.
Yeah, Mark said here. I went to the buffet the other day. They were grilling steak. I asked the Mexican grill cook, but lo quiero más Royce. Now, here's my question, Mark. Was the Mexican grill cook at the Asian buffet? Here you go to the Asian buffet, and they'll have depends on what some of them call it the Mongolian grill. Some call it they've got the big huge cast iron round thing and the guy's grilling on it. The best one are the Mexican sushi guys. Or the women that do sushi at the Asian buffets. Yeah, that all happen to be Mexican. Oh.
Working you see, here we have it the opposite. Actually, in New York, we have the Chinese cooking the Mexicans food.
Yeah, Chinese are cooking Mexican food. Actually, the worst Chinese dinner I ever had was in Monterrey, Mexico. And I should have known when we walked in and there wasn't one Asian in the entire building that, taking ketchup and watering it down and throwing some sugar and vinegar in it is not sweet and sour sauce.
Well, I find that now. I deal with all small business owners, and what I'm finding, like especially in the Chinese community, is that a lot of they would have typically gone into like selling Chinese food, but they don't feel there's enough profit in it. So that's why they started like taking over. They even cook. They open up restaurants and everything under Thai food.
Hey, Bill Riley's going to do a video of him eating balut.
That's good. Good for Bill Riley. And they cook Vietnam food, and now they're cooking Mexican food.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they feel that Chinese food is like cheap food. They don't make that much money, so they're looking for more profitable.
Well, and actually,
areas.
in all honesty,
I mean, the food's not good, but I mean they're trying.
Yeah, like I told somebody, I said when I lived and worked over there, being in Hong Kong, and living there and working out of there, that here what we call Chinese food in the United States, trust me, you can't buy any of that in China.
Yeah. We heard that story before. Hello, Lady Farmer, Mark and Nang.
Farmer, how's it going? So, anyways, yeah. Let's see. Thanks, Mark. No star-themed hotels this trip. Why would you want to go to no offense, but why would you want to go to a Star Trek or Star Wars themed hotel?
Star Wars, no, not for me. Oh, that was the one in Baguio with Ken?
Yeah, I think so.
I know they had superheroes on the wall.
Yeah. Well, hey, after 4 tequilas, Ken thought he was a superhero.
Hey, after 4 tequilas, I'm sure he was.
He looked at Marine. He looked at Marine. He jumped from the edge of the bed, slammed into the wall, fell asleep, and he woke up. Says, "How was it?" She said, "Great."
Listen, I don't get like racist, but if you want to point out one thing that I may be racist in is my food.
Yeah,
If I go to a Chinese restaurant, I want to look up and see Chinese people making it.
yeah.
If I go to an Italian restaurant, I'd prefer to see an Italian person making it,
I mean, I
and
took.
Mexican and everything else.
I mean, I took BJ over to a Korean restaurant, but guess what? All the people working there were Korean.
That's good, at least. That's acceptable. But like if it was a Korean restaurant all
Right.
run and by Chinese people, that's not the same thing.
I mean, like like if we go to lady farmer says, I can't get out of the car. He didn't notice my slipper is not a match. I have big yellow, small peach color. Now I have to run back to the car. Embarrassing. Farmer,
Yeah.
who cares? Here, trust me, nobody's looking at your feet.
Yeah, especially not JG.
JG's definitely. Oh, hey, JG, I was going to ask you. Let me bring BJ in here because she's got a question for you. Right? She found out that she can make money selling pictures of her feet.
Okay.
Yeah, and she wants to know if you think that's a good idea.
Listen, if you can make money at it and you're not hurting nobody, do it.
Yeah,
You won't be you wouldn't necessarily be getting my dollar, but if you can make a money, go for it.
I was looking at it. I said, "What? You can make money selling pictures of your feet?" And she said, "Oh yeah, somebody told her something like, feet something.com or something." What? Went there? Oh yeah, $5 to $100 per picture. And so because she said, "Oh, there's women making like 50 or 80, $100,000 a year taking pictures of their feet."
Yeah, but you see, like something like that, like I appreciate that. Like Lady Farmer, Modus, they weren't matching, but I
Yeah,
like that. To me, that's like a feminine trait. It's not necessarily a Filipina. It's like,
yeah,
a woman.
yeah.
Me, I wouldn't care, but I like that. I like that the woman would care about that.
Yeah. Yeah, could you imagine the day that you got out of here? Let's say you were going out on, you're going out on one of your business trips, and you get there, you realize you have one black sock on and one blue sock. It's a dark blue sock. Hey,
Couldn't care less.
Would you even hesitate getting out?
No, not even a second.
I mean, even if you had one black shoe on and one brown shoe on.
I might notice that, but I'd probably get by it.
You probably walk in, and somebody says, you got one black shoe, one brown shoe. Thank you for noticing.
That's the new style.
Yeah, it was a new trend. Somebody said, try it out. And, nobody noticed all day. Thank you so much. I thought I was the only one that noticed it.
Yeah, no, I would say that I'm following the influencer Scoot B on YouTube. He told me to wear one black and one brown shoe.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. You're going to buy hose, but they told, what does buying a hose have to do with your slippers not matching?
Hey Scott, drop your link in my chat.
How do I do that?
And make a copy and paste it over.
Oh gosh. Here. Where, in your chat? Are you now? I gotta go to your page. Click on yours. All right. There you go. So, anyways, yeah. I'm trying to figure out though. Well, I mean, BJ does the same thing. She almost had a heart attack the other day because I left the house, right, wearing two socks, right, that had different stripes on the toes inside my shoes. He's like, oh, okay. She said, oh, worse yet. I went to work, right, and I had dirt. I didn't change my pants, and they were a little bit dirty from the day before. This is almost a a punishable sin. It's embarrassing, kind of.
Bruce, if I fall off my chair, will you send help?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that, Scoop, but Bruce has a problem with falling off his chairs.
Oh yeah, he's done that before. Yeah, I've been on his live streams where he accidentally slides off the chair.
Well, he slides off the chair, he falls asleep, he's having a snack, whatever it may be. It's always an adventure.
The worst one was the whole running to the restroom experience and forgetting to mute the mic. That was probably the most dramatic for me.
That's just nature,
I mean, dropping the burger. I mean, I've been through that one. Here,
men. Listen, I'm sorry to report this to ladies, but men, we pee standing up. So if there's a noise when it hits the water, deal with it.
Wait, JG, this wasn't him peeing while you forgot to do it. There was like strange animal noises happening. Still traumatized.
Well, you two have a special relationship.
The best part is MK. MK. It's like, oh my God, should we tell him? She types it. Should we tell him? Said, oh no, let it go. And she did. Yeah. Luckily, it was there's only like, I think it was just me, Bruce, and MK were on the stream at that time.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a hot night.
But anyways, yeah. The sales lady asked if I was the maid for a foreigner we were buying a pump. So yes, I am. No, you should have said no, I'm not. You should have said no. You have a foreigner maid. I hired this man. That's what I told BJ. If somebody asks, you just tell them no. I hired him for the maid. That's my maid.
I'm his master.
Yeah. We all know that. Hey, don't laugh. We know that's true.
Ken says Maureen hears him pee on the phone and she calls it my fountain. Go figure.
The sad part is she's thinking a little like one of those little fountains at the church.
It's like David just going.
Well, yeah, wife has, what is that? I was going to ask somebody, what is that about, when you're in the Philippines, okay, why do, if especially like Filipina, they see her, and a white guy, like that's, oh, is that are you the maid? Like, huh. If they're not, if the wife isn't dressed like really fancy, they actually think like, okay, so she's just dressed like normal Filipina, doesn't have fancy purse, doesn't have fancy clothes. She's, she's with this man. She must
Scott,
be.
Scott, what do you think I have to pay to have when I'm in the Philippines? To have two Filipinas fanning me with like banana leaves as I go about town a day.
A day? All right.
Yeah.
I'd say probably 5,000 a day would get you to
5,000.
5,000 peso a day each.
5,000 pesos.
About $100 a day. I mean, you're
it would be like $10 a day. It'd be 500 pesos a day.
500, yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, it depends on what you want and where. I mean, if you want
each.
Yeah, but if you want them to wear like a skimpy little outfit while they're doing it, and that you probably have to pay a little more.
It cost me 1,000 pesos a day.
1,000, yeah, say 1,000, maybe 1,500.
I'd say 1,000. I'll make a video of it. I'll be walking down the street and there'll be two Filipinas, one on each side, just fanning me with a banana leaf.
Lady Farmer says she doesn't wear heels while farming. What? You don't? Actually, I told BJ, I said, when we get to the Philippines, because, he said, yeah, we'll make some videos out at the farm. He says, maybe we'll use the theme like Green Acres. I said, well, she can go out there carrying her Gucci bag, wearing the heels, and in her and fancy dress and everything, walking out there in the field. And I can throw on half a suit with a vest, and ride around on the tractor. I said, now those would actually be kind of funny little videos,
Oh,
Here,
Bill said his wife Mercy gets asked that all the time, like if she's the maid.
I know she does, because same thing. It's the way she's dressed, because she dresses normal, and she doesn't wear skin block or sunblock every time she walks out. So being Visayan, that her and in Mendenau, her skin gets a little darker. So they just figure, well, you're native, you're not like married to an American.
And Lady Farm is saying that she doesn't wear high heels when she's farming. I thought I saw videos of her doing that.
You gotta turn your cam on, JG, just for to honor this next guest, the one, the only.
The laugh. The laugh at Brute Shooting Star MS. Please subscribe, like, and comment on his channel. Well, Bruce, apparently, according to Scott, I made you. I don't know if it was because.
Don't listen to either one of them. They're full of it.
Well, I was the first one to trademark your laugh and bring it to live streaming.
Yeah, and when you played the 2-minute laugh. Like Ken said, the laugh that rang around the world. Actually, it lasted longer than a space shuttle flight around the world.
Bill, check out the Riley said, I will follow you around with a battery fan for 5,000 a day.
Oh boy,
Bill, you're not in the demographic I was looking for, but I'll consider it.
Hey, but for 5K a day, he's got to wear a Speedo.
oh my God.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Is it me, or is every time every time Shooting Star laughs, does his face get red? Is me or
it might be his lights. He has Christmas lights changing colors over there.
Right. I don't know. I the way that red showed up, I thought he was thinking about I didn't think about Bill Riley and a Speedo.
Hi, Mike Whitcomb. Welcome.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Bruce is a laughaholic. No, he's not. No, he's like the anti-laughaholic. He gives away laughs. He doesn't take them. When you laugh, Bruce won't laugh with you. But when he laughs, you will laugh with him.
Hey, Mark King had a good suggestion for me. He said, JG, just make sure that when they are fanning you, that they are also jumping up and down too. That's very smart, Savage. I didn't think of that. Yeah, and you're right. That should be included for that fee.
Yeah. So hey, Mike,
of $20.
Well, my question has to be, JG, can you tell us all what it feels like to be outsmarted by Mark?
It's very easy because Mark is a brilliant man.
Oh, okay.
He's very humble. Most people, he gets away with saying stuff that, us normal people don't get to say, and the channel not block him. Because if I call a person who blinks a lot on his live stream Blinky, I get blocked from that channel.
Yeah.
But Mark would know how to say it in such a way where they would just take it and not
Oh,
block.
okay, yeah, I understand.
I am not Mark. I am not you.
You wish you were.
Who wouldn't? I mean, he has a condo overlooking Carl's Jr. It's right across the street.
The parking lot of Carl's Jr.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah. That's what I love is, when people say, oh, hey, speaking of condos, do you see that they now have cheap condos again down in Miami?
Yeah, you can't get a loan for them, and you can't insure them. Go have at it.
Well, yeah, hey, it's like 46. It was for like 46 condos. You can get them really cheap because they made everyone move up by Tuesday. Tuesday's the last day.
Is that like the building where they all had to put in like 150 or 200,000 to fix the building?
No. This one's even going to be more. This one they're talking like 300,000-400,000, per condo.
Yeah.
To try to save the building, and they're not even sure they can do it.
Everybody wants to live near the ocean, man. Not me. I'll go visit the ocean, but I don't want to live on the ocean.
You live close enough to the ocean.
I do.
I mean, you're only what, 4 or 5 blocks away?
I'm less than a mile from my home to, it's Jamaica Bay. And I did have one insurance company drop me, saying that I was in a flood zone at State Farm, and I would never do business with those people. Scoot, you drop off?
Hello.
Hey, Bruce, just me and you. The show just got much better.
Ratings just went up, huh?
through the roof. So how you doing, Bruce? You work today?
All right. Yeah, I just got home a little while ago.
I tell you, I got so frustrated today. I was changing out a light fixture, right?
Yeah.
Very, very simple stuff. It's three wires.
By the way, Mark King says you're wrong. It's not Carl's Jr. It's Sonic.
All right, the same owned by the same company.
High end of the fast food, he said.
Yeah, that's true. You probably get an extra couple thousand just for that.
Oh yeah.
Mark's got binoculars because they do serve still with roller skates, and those guys in roller skates really get them excited.
Do they have tight buns? Who joined you backstage?
Huh?
Who joined you backstage?
Nobody.
Oh, I thought I heard a ding.
No.
I've just been in my head.
Yeah,
No, so what was I saying? You distract me.
Okay, back to you were saying about the ocean coming up to your front yard.
Oh yeah. Parts of my neighborhood have gotten flooded out, but like my street hasn't been flooded out in like 70 years.
Yeah. But unfortunately it's coming. I mean, that's people can deny, climate change or whatever they want to call it, as much as they want, but yeah, it's going to happen.
Kuya Joey, welcome to the program.
Hey, Kuya Joey.
He sings good, man.
What's that?
Ruby Falls.
He sings really good.
But
Yeah.
it's going to be sad, actually it's going to be sad to watch what happens over the next 30, 40 years. I won't be here to see it.
Yeah, so don't worry about it then.
You will.
I'll be there for part of that, but I won't care either way.
I mean, imagine, well, here, I told somebody, they said, imagine, 5 feet.
What?
5 feet. Low tide will be 5 feet higher.
All right, well, as happy and good news as that is, let's move on.
Yeah. No, I mean, you've been to Cagayan, you've been to Davao. I mean, most of those cities will be sitting in the water. I mean, where do all these people move to?
Well, to me, this doesn't really have anything to do with the Philippines. Like, I wouldn't want to live in like Florida or on the coast either. So,
I mean, where are all those people in Miami moving to?
they should
Just
move to Brooklyn and buy me out.
Just imagine if they all moved.
All right, I think we lost Scoot. Scoot is having technical issues. There's
we ever
animals.
find him?
It would be a long list, but apparently there are some small creatures eating at Scoot's cable wires as we speak.
Oh, wow. That's not good.
Yeah, it's probably some kind of lizard. What else do you have in Arizona's heat?
It's Arizona, yeah. Lizards and rattlesnakes.
But hey, let's exactly. Hey, they're smart creatures, man. They know which house to go after.
Wait. Was that Bruce trying? Was that Bruce from Mississippi trying to make a dig at Arizona?
Oh, he did a good, fine one. Mississippi ain't taking it no more.
That's right.
But no, so all right,
Great.
so
McCullough Falls, hiked down behind the waterfall, icing the knee. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Right.
I know what that's like.
Those are some awesome places where he's talking about.
Yeah.
Ruby Falls.
oh, Mark King
Nakalula
heard that
Falls, yeah.
that the Philippines will be locked down again because of COVID. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't see anybody actually going back into lockdown anymore.
No, if they do, they'd just be like strangling themselves financially.
Yeah, well, and this time out, I think it's going to be, okay, you know what? No, I mean, we're stack bodies up alongside the building, buildings. I mean, nobody's going to care.
Yeah, I think people have had enough.
Yeah.
Kua Joey is saying
Mike,
that
Mike says
it
that'll
was
be a
great.
change for Floridians migrating to New York.
That's a smart thing because it is becoming like
Yeah, the problem
it's becoming tropical in heat wise.
Yeah, problem is it's going to be I mean, all the old Jews are going to go down to Miami. All the young Jews are going up to New York City,
Where they should be driving up my home prices.
That's right. But anyways, Bruce is known as the Mississippi Laugher. No, actually, he's called the Mississippi Kilt Man.
Don't get started now.
What's the matter, Bruce? Am I kilting you again?
You're always kilting me. Oh boy.
Yeah. I hear they still give
boy.
away free land in North and South Dakota, and you could go there. There's a reason they give away free land in those places. I've been to both of those states. I mean, yeah, there's a reason. Yeah, we have all the. Yeah, Mark King says, "Do not forget, we have all the cougar we are hunting down in Scottsdale." Yes, cougar hunting in Scottsdale is huge.
Ugh. Cougars.
Oh wait, I think he's talking about four-legged cougars.
Oh, he's talking about big cats.
Yeah.
All right.
Even big cats. I mean, it's they got big cats, a little different cougars, but yeah.
I was thinking those over the hill women that trying to get some
Oh, you mean the Guilfords?
cougars.
No, yeah. You can't really go wrong with cougars.
Oh yes, you can.
No, actually, when I was like 25, I mean, I met a lady, I guess you'd call her a cougar in today's, you know. And actually, it was kind of nice. She was divorced. Her kids were older.
I never liked older women, man, even
I
as a young man.
She looked like she was like 25.
Okay.
And she did not look, you know. And really nice thing is she had money and she didn't mind buying stuff. It's like, ooh, you want to go
I'm
where?
not saying that the hookup, the deal for the young man can't be good. I'm just saying I never had an interest in it.
Go Joey says the cougar I'm married to just wants to sleep. Yeah, same as mine. I married a cougar. Yeah. She purrs a lot. She purrs a lot, but she sleeps a lot.
Yeah, well, maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a reason for that at both of you. No offense, of course.
I keep telling BJ. I said, well, you know, when I get to the Philippines, I mean, you know, when I get to the Philippines, you know, and how much money are you going to send me every month?
Oh, cool. Joey's saying, he says, I guess I'm weird. I have always been attracted to older women. No, that doesn't make you weird, man. It's just there's many men that like prefer older women. That's just my preference. I'm not knocking men who like older women. That's fine.
Here.
Whatever you're into. That's what makes the world go round.
Like with me, right? When I was 20 years old, I thought women between 35 and 40 were gorgeous.
Yeah, no, I never saw it.
And when I turned 50 years old and 60 years old, I still thought women between 35 and 40 years old were gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it was always, and I'm talking about like, let's say when I'm in my late teens, or let's say I'm in college, I'm 18 to 21 or 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never, because whenever I saw them, even if I thought they were pretty, I always noticed how like caked on makeup they had. Whereas like the girls I was dating my age or a couple of years, not much younger, but a little younger, they never wore makeup and they just look beautiful all the time.
Well, here, there again. Now you're talking about women that wear makeup. See, I never got into that whole women that wear makeup are, to me, is a turnoff.
It is to me too.
I know guys, they're, I mean, like
the most I would say would be like subtle makeup, but not like over the top caked on makeup.
Yeah. Well, here,
not my thing.
Like, for anyone who's ever watched one of B-Joy's, videos, I'm going to break the news to you. Like B-Joy, like sunscreen, she puts that 50 sunscreen on. That's the entire makeup regime she has.
Yeah,
once in a blue moon, she might put lipstick on.
Yeah, and lipstick is acceptable in my world.
Occasion. And for women that put on all that caked on, the Imelda Marcos look, the Tammy Baker look, I mean, you realize I could take, a 3-inch, 4-inch deep dent on the side of your car with enough Bondo, I can make your car look like new. Yeah,
G Taurus is chiming in. She says, "Hello, I'm Miss Taurus.
Yeah,
Sad to say, I can't hear your gentleman talking. The machine is loud."
What machine?
the machine.
Yeah. But I mean, somebody asked me about, when I was in Thailand, and I said, well, one thing that I always think about Thailand is, that all of these women, that I saw around Thailand, Thai women, I mean, they just put on the makeup. And as they get older, it gets, thicker and thicker.
Well, I have to to be clear also. Like, I never had like I felt growing up, like all through elementary and middle school, that I never once had like a hot teacher.
No,
I never had a teacher that was like, wow, she's beautiful. Never, not once.
Actually, I never had a teacher. I had a teacher's aide though. That when I was in high school,
we didn't really have teacher's aides. I wish we did.
Clearwater High School, they had and she was like a second year, or she was like a college sophomore, and she was like the teacher's aide. And I ran into her at a bar. And she kind of, she's like, "What are you doing here?" "What are you doing here?" So I said, "Wait a minute." I said,
Let's have sex.
yeah. I did date her for like 6 months. I said, "Well, you can't say anything about me being here because you're not of legal age either." And she wasn't old enough at the time to be in a bar in Florida.
Did you just go back and have sex?
Well, we did go for a ride on the motorcycle. We'll let it go at that.
Yeah, you faggot. You should have got it.
My kid said the other day, I gone to Sonic's to get a grilled chicken sandwich. Found out they no longer serving them. What? They didn't serve grilled chicken? What?
He wanted a girl grilled sandwich.
Got a Spanish teacher is smoking. That's just because you're into Spanish-looking girls.
Who is it?
In the house saying hello? No. Yeah, no. I mean, is she going to update that picture? Of you holding that poor bear hostage.
Ooh.
Hmm?
Ooh.
She's got the profile picture, and she's holding the bear hostage. Everyone can see the pain in its eyes.
Well, from the live streams that I watched, she said that she, put him in plastic bags and tied it off.
Yeah. Classic, I mean, she said, "Hey,
apparently trying to kill him several times."
Yeah. Oh, you should have seen the brutality when she threw him in the dryer and let him bounce around. Mark King said, "If I had female teachers, I'd done a lot better in school." Well, you should have stayed out of reform school. Right?
Don't think that's necessarily true, Mark.
Actually, he probably had more fun with the priests. I don't know.
Yeah, he's saying that Mark King was a victim of pedophilia by a priest. Is that?
No, he wasn't a victim.
He was a willing participant. I mean, I don't know what he's saying.
Bruce might have said that. I didn't.
I didn't say it. Not me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bruce only thought it. Yeah. Pickles.
No. There you go. Doing it again, aren't you?
Here you go. What do you think about that, Bruce?
Do what now?
Pickles,
I think you're right, Ken.
Pickle is just glad to be out of the plastic bag.
For God's sake.
For God's sake, yeah.
For God's sake, yeah. Bruce says, "For God's sake, I want my pickle out of the plastic bag too."
That's coming.
Bruce, I'm talking about the pickle you buy at the grocery store in a plastic bag. Get the money out of the gutter.
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right, so what about it?
Pickles is still alive, looking for foster parent. Mark says, "You guys are lucky I'm eating fried chicken right now."
Why does that make me lucky?
Maybe you were thinking about eating pickles in a plastic bag. I don't know.
And you never even offered me a piece of chicken, you cheap bastard. I'll be there lickety split for some finger licking goodness.
Oh boy.
Here, Kuya Joey says he got his wife fried pickles today. See that? Bruce said he tried
see.
fried pickle. He tried to fry his pickle one time, but he'll never do it again.
I never tried a fried pickle.
Don't listen to him.
You know what a fried pickle?
Huh?
Hey, JG, you have to go to the Midwest a little more often. I mean, go
No,
over.
listen, we have one place here in Brooklyn that has fried pickles, and I've never
Yeah.
tried it.
Oh, no, you got to go. You got to go to. You got to go like the Iowa State Fair, or Minnesota.
We have a place here that sells fried ice cream, Scoot. I don't even know what that looks like.
Hey, back in the 70s in Wisconsin, right? A football player, they opened. He decided. Now here, a guy from the Green Bay Packers offensive, front end decides to open up a Mexican restaurant, and they sold fried ice cream on the menu. It's like,
Well, I mean, it's two things I love. It's ice cream and it's fried.
Yeah.
But I just never pictured them together as a happy couple.
Here's an idea. Here's an idea. Maybe we should meet up at, in Minnesota or Wisconsin State Fair or Iowa State Fair, where you can get anything fried. Have you ever had fried butter?
No, I usually fry in butter.
Well, you can get fried butter sticks. No, actually fried ice cream. Actually,
Is ice cream and fried food like Reese's peanut butter and chocolate?
No. Yeah. Right. Here. Cool. Joey says they have fried Coca-Cola, fried butter sticks. Right. Yeah, in Texas. Of course they do. Fried Oreos. Yep. Been there, seen those. Yeah. I mean, I did fried beer one time. It's kind of, guys like, how you
Listen,
fried beer?
I haven't tried many of these varied fried products, but I've always said that, I'd eat or drink anything that was fried. I mean, why wouldn't you? I might even eat a vegetable if it was deep fried.
Oh, I mean,
Well, you can fry
fried
okra.
cookie.
Have you ever
I'd
tried
eat fried.
okra?
I'd eat fried anything. Then I seen bacon with ice cream with bacon, and like all these things that like I love individually, but just don't see them sleeping together.
What about fried peanut
Yeah,
butter?
I haven't had that either. It sounds wonderful.
Fried cardboard. I mean, Gooey Joey says, "Hey, maybe you can make fried cardboard." No,
Like Whitcomb said, fried Twinkies are good. That sounds delicious.
Here's
Fried cardboard. Fried Twinkies.
here in the U.S., you're right, JJ. I mean, if you could fry it, bacon beer is awesome.
It sounds. I mean, listen, those are two things I love with a passion. Like I said, I'd never seen them sleeping together, but I'd try it.
Well, I mean, like I said, back when I lived in Wisconsin, I mean, we actually took beer, and what we did is we froze it in liquid nitrogen. Then we dropped it in egg wash and battered it and froze it. And that way, again in liquid nitrogen. And then we could fry it, and when you bit into it, you had this super hot outside with that beer in the inside. I mean, you could deep fry almost anything. I mean, it's just the technique.
You mentioned in doing things in what was it, nitrogen? Kind of reminds me of when I would have to hide kryptonite from Superman. I would keep it in like a lead suitcase, and then this way he couldn't see through it.
Oh boy!
Look at that. Is that the most delicious looking thing you've ever seen in your life? I mean, come on. You don't even have to fry it. It's great just the way it is.
Hey, what is she saying?
I think it sounds like she thinks that Pickles might be transgender.
Uh-oh. Trying to figure it out, huh? Oh, God.
Well, listen, Chi, let him do what he wants to do.
Hey, yeah, Chi, don't worry. There's only one person on this panel that's transgender. I'm not it. And I'm not that person. We'll let the other two, explain why they are.
I don't have to explain it. I don't put on skirts, so it can't be me.
Dresses.
Oh, so you're saying because a guy wears a kilt, he might be?
Well,
No, I don't wear a kilt.
I think it's more positive, more plausible that one that puts that on is than one that doesn't is.
I don't wear a kilt. I don't even own a kilt.
Oh, so walking around without the kilt on is even better?
I don't have a kilt.
Yeah. So you're saying
I wear
you
pants.
got rid of the kilt. You got rid of the kilt. You just walk around
Sure you do, Bruce. Sure you do.
You want to see?
Yes. We want to see. Well, we get the security surveillance from Walmart, and we know how you dress at work.
Hey.
Well, they know what I wear.
Yeah.
They sure do.
Yeah. So
they got a folder on you.
Yeah. Those weren't kilts. Those are just leftovers from the girls' skirt department.
Listen, somebody has to work the lady boy section in Walmart.
Well, it sure ain't me.
You're the department head.
No,
So I just buy my I just buy my clothes there. No idea about it. You go commando under the kilt. Unfortunately, I can say yes, he does.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Mike Wickham says, "Hey, gives welcome to Walmart a whole new meaning." That's what I said. Hey, maybe Walmart should, could find like a bunch of like trans people and and dress them up, put them out there as greeters at Walmart. Next April 1st, I'm gonna suggest that to them. I mean, this would be the greatest April 1st joke in the entire world. Every Walmart, there's guys and gals all dressed up, transgender, drag queen looking, out there going, "Hey, welcome to Walmart," just to see the reactions.
I am back.
Are you back? I mean, I think that'd be funny. What say you?
I don't know. I missed whatever the hell you were talking about.
Next April 1st, Walmart.
Hey, do you believe me? It's not worth listening
to. Every Walmart worldwide on April 1st has a great.
We're on the same page, Bruce.
Anyway.
Yeah, April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Yeah. I mean, every greeter in every Walmart has to be dressed up in drag.
You know what's so hard for me is that I miss all these Walmart stories because there's no Walmart within New York City. There's in Long Island, there's upstate, but there's like none. There's not a single one in Brooklyn. There's not a single one in any of the 5 boroughs. So the only experience I have with Walmart is when I lived in Rochester. So now, was it Walmart that was the issue, or was it the people of Rochester the issue? And from my experience, I think it was the people of Rochester.
Here in Mesa, Arizona, I mean, they allowed Walmart's almost 15 years ago, and they actually passed certain tax advantages, for big box stores, and all of those things come up for revoting next year. It looks like they're all going down. I mean, and Walmart.
Listen, I've been reading stories about Walmart like closing up shops, and like everything I read and everything I see on video is that they're closing. Listen to this: a business is closing unprofitable stores.
Yeah.
What the hell is the problem with that? Walmart's not a charity; they're a for business
that's
business.
what they're saying here. That if they don't get their 15 to 20 million per store tax deductions from the city, then they're going to have to close.
All right.
Goodbye. See you.
All right. So then you lose everything that Walmart offers.
Yeah. And which is what?
Well, I don't know. I always heard these stories. Again, I don't have any near me, but I've always heard these stories. Oh, Walmart goes into a place and closes down all the local businesses and everything. So now if they can't make a buck and they want to close, they close. They're a business.
Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of what happened here in Mesa. I mean, they said, oh, we're going to create so many jobs and you're going to get so much more and this and that. And 15 years later, right, when asked to show on paper that this happened, they actually had to say, well, we don't have anything that actually shows it. It's like voter fraud. It happened, but we don't know how, and we can't show you any way how that it happened.
Listen, I have a hard time believing that any business, not just Walmart, just any business in general, why would you close profitable stores?
Exactly.
Well,
you don't.
That's just it. They're not profitable. The ones that Walmart's closing.
Right. They're not making money. They're losing money every year that they have that business open.
Right. The reason they're closing the 20 stores this year is because of theft.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not just 20 stores. I mean, they're closing a whole lot more. I mean, here in.
Well, I forgot what state it was, but like people are able to go in and steal like up to $800, and they don't stop you. Like you just walk in, take what you want, and leave.
Technically, if you own a business and somebody comes in, right, and you can't grab them and say, hey, even if they have a shopping cart and they're pushing it out, doesn't matter how much money's in there, right?
I heard it was $800 or $900, but
well, no, I mean you can't push. I mean you cannot grab them and stop them because that's assault. I mean,
that's
unless
ridiculous.
you could stand in front of them, and unless they actually slap you. But if they keep, moving the cart and moving it to the side, and you try to keep in front of it, and they keep going, and at a certain point, you are harassing them, and you can't, and that's a law, right? Doesn't matter what you're selling and where you're at. Yeah, like Nick brings it up. Walmart here has 32 registers and only 2 cashiers. Right?
But I don't believe a retailer would do that if that's not what the numbers show them that they need.
Right. Well, see, here's the problem is, Walmart's got a huge problem with trying to hire people, and, honesty, when I was in Arkansas, I couldn't believe, the people that worked for Walmart 20 and 30 years and still make, here, Bruce, how many years you worked for Walmart?
Well, I've been there for over 16 years, but
right. So do you make 20? You've been there 16 years. So you
Our
make
time.
Yeah. So you make 15 to 20% higher than the people they hire off the street.
He should make higher than they do.
Yeah. No.
What they're doing now is they're starting out people at $14 an hour.
Right.
And
you make so 14. So let's add 25% to that. So you're making $18.50, $19 an hour.
No, I'm not making that much.
Yeah. I mean, you're barely making more than what they're hiring people off the street for.
I make a little, about
A little more, but not
$2.50 more an hour than what they're starting people out at. But it also depends on what they're doing
Mm-hmm.
too.
But also, but here's where Walmart's thing was is for a long time they loved they loved to have a workforce where they could get everyone to beat up each other. And now they've hit the point where that just isn't there. There aren't enough young people out there. I mean, when they could hire, when they could promote people to be managers.
You could say that about any position. I mean, if the people work in McDonald's or Burger King or wherever, it's the same thing.
I mean, like a friend of mine, he'd retired and I'll go work at Walmart, because little town he lived in, that's all it was. He said, looking for something to do. I'll go work at Walmart, I can stock the shelves, whatever. And he says, they had a 23-year-old kid, right, as the manager for his department. Right? Now he was in the automotive department. Now this guy was a service manager for a fairly large, automotive group. 27 dealerships. He was the guy in charge of all 27 dealerships maintenance. Right? And he says, but they had a 23-year-old manager used to berate him and tell him he was an idiot because he didn't know how to put, this oil over here and stack it in a certain way.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Scott. I mean, this still is America, and if people really don't like their jobs that much, they can switch.
Well, no, he said, I just find it funny because
because it's the same thing in banking. Like, let's say you start at some bank in America, a big bank, and you start as a teller, right?
Mhm.
They're the least paid in any branch that you'll find from everybody else, and they're usually the most important because, believe it or not, people do business with people who they like also. So, to get people to come into that market, they had to start paying them more and more. So what their answer was, well, we'll just have less and less. Which is all well and fine. I mean, a business is supposed to, do what's in their financial best interest. I mean, that's why you open a business,
right.
And
Mark King brings up things. Says if you break the law in shoplifting, they should lose. I think he's talking about the customers should lose rights they had to that point, and they are open to any type of physical forces against them, as long as it does not lead up to death. Right. So I see in front of me for product, right? And I've seen this actually happen in a grocery store, right? Spaghetti sauce. And twist the top off, stick your finger in it, lick it, put the top back on, put it on the shelf and grab another one, open it up and taste it. At this point, I can grab your head and shove you into that bottle because you're stealing. If I see you grab a grape and stick it in your mouth, I can slap you upside the head.
Let's not go over the top with the examples. I mean, these are literally just people walking in, grabbing shit and walking out.
No, this drives me nuts. I mean, I see people walk through and they don't think anything about, tearing off, 5-6 grapes and shoving them in their mouth as they're walking down through. And when I ask them, I said, do you realize you just stole those? No, I didn't. It was free samples. Did you see a sign that said free samples? No, you stole them. You know how much you pay extra for grapes?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I agree that kind of stuff does, sicken me too. I just don't happen to see that every time I'm in the supermarket.
Sticking her finger in I mean, I watched her do it to 5 jars before I said a word.
Hey, what pissed me off was that, I buy like nuts like walnuts or pistachios, whatever. And they come in like a plastic jar that
Yeah.
has a plastic film across it.
Mhm.
So I pick it up, I buy it, I bring it home, and then I pop the top off, and the plastic film was broke. Like I didn't even think to look under the lid to see if the plastic was broken.
Yeah.
And I bought the same thing, a lot of times, and that was the only time. And it was somebody just popped their finger through there and grabbed a few nuts, and I got it home. I wasted the $9 or $10. I seen it was broken, and I just tossed it.
Mm.
Now they're talking about Walmart, having zero cashiers. Yeah, that's becoming the big thing now. With a lot of places, zero cashiers.
Yeah, well, soon it'll be robots.
And then again, that has to go to the fact that there are not enough people to work in the U.S. for the jobs we have.
No, they don't want to work for the wage that's offered.
Oh no. There's I don't care. Oh, here, this is what kills me. I said, okay, at what point do you say, hey, you know what? It's cheaper to put a robot in than a human.
Yeah, I saw that on the 60 Minutes. They're
Yeah.
starting to get more and more.
At what point, right? I mean, today.
At what
okay,
point? The point is, if it saves the money.
I mean, here.
They have the big outlay, but if they have an ROI of a couple of years, maybe they do it.
Yeah. Well, here, the beauty of like a franchise operation like McDonald's, or any of the others, right, is that it's real simple. Right? You're going to make a hamburger, you're going to make a pizza, you're going to make whatever, exactly the same each and every time. This can be automated.
Yeah.
Right? The cost of it, the cost of a robot today, 20 to 30 less than pay somebody to do.
Well, I saw a video recently where they have the Amazon robots, but they're like a couple million a piece.
Which one?
There was a few. There was some that worked in the warehouse and
If that, that's
the
Amazon,
inventory.
right? It's that expensive. No, they're not.
But there was other robots that worked in retail locations, big box stores.
Yeah.
And all they did was go around, scan everything to see what the inventory was live.
There's an actual,
and then it would go back into the warehouse, pick the stuff up and drop it at the location. And they could do that for 16 hours or 18 hours a day. And they didn't really have to shut it down, but they just did to play it safe. Crazy.
Yeah, it is.
But that's how it's going to be. If all these Gen Zers and all that don't want to, they don't want to, like many of us growing up, we at one point or another we worked in a fast food place. All different kinds of jobs. If they don't want to do it for what it's being, you can't get pissed off now that robots do it and we don't need you no more.
well, no, it's like, oh, they're too expensive. It's gonna, whatever. They're not gonna pick the the best on this. And in the end, right, they went from 1 to 16 locations now, and now they're talking about spreading around the world.
Like my job personally, I feel like in 20 years that it won't even be worth it for someone to do.
Right here, let's see. So I wish I could, I wish I could start a bank that would mean that I'd be rich also, or rich then. What?
Yeah, Mark, maybe you can start a bank that handles all the weed business in America. That's a good bank to start.
Well, actually, I got a friend in Denver that it's not a
Well,
bank.
no, you see, the problem is you'd have to get past federal regulation. But if he got
Well,
approval to do that,
it's not a
he can
bank.
make a fortune really quick.
Yeah. But what he does is he stores cash. Right? He bought an old cold storage building, and and probably he's got at this point, last time I was up in Denver a couple years ago, he had like 35 or 40 billion dollars in cash sitting in that in that building. And if you want to buy something, sell something, whatever, right, you can do it, right, through his place. Like if you want to buy a car, you want to spend, he's
We just lost him again.
Oh, that's good stuff. Let's get to some comments, Bruce.
entry level employees don't care if the store is being robbed. I got news for you. Back in the day, my day, entry level employees didn't care. I mean, if they're robbing the place, man, here's the cash register. You guys walk out with it. I mean, entry level employees. Why
you
would
know
you
what? And in any bank in America, it's the same thing with a teller and somebody trying to rob them.
Oh, hand them.
Don't
them
interfere.
I mean, to rob a bank in the United States, all you need is pen and paper. He's, right on
And
paper.
a cell phone.
I'm going to rob you. I take all the money, put it in a bag, and hand it to me.
Yeah.
Walk up to any teller, hand them that, and you're going to walk out with a bag of money.
Absolutely. I mean, most likely you get caught and arrested, but after that, they're not gonna really put up much of a struggle.
No. So yeah, all night he's stealing, and she licked them for chemical first by the fire peanut butter. Yeah, see, here's the thing I have, with when people talk about, like stealing or whatever, right? They always talk about, how expensive it was. How about how cheap it was? Stealing is stealing.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter if it's $5 or 5,000.
I mean, I love these self-righteous people that say, well,
Boy. Kua Joey saying robots are less expensive and more accurate than an employee that demands breaks, salary, workman's comp, health insurance, etc. Of course.
Yeah.
And that in the future will help, these kind of businesses, Walmart, the Targets, the big box stores. That's what's going to help keep the cost down for you when you want to go in and buy some annuals. You want to, buy some plants or something. You pick them out. You walk over to the register with no human. Just scan the stuff through. It'll probably be somebody for 5 rows or 10 rows or 100 rows, whatever it is, to oversee it. But that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
I think you actually do that, don't you, Bruce? That's part of your job.
Well, yeah, I'm over at the self-check area.
Yeah, you cover a bunch of registers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
well, think
anyway,
about
yeah.
that from the business perspective is that, they're saving the money of all those full-time employees for all those registers. They have you, one person, and you're covering a bunch of them for them. That's a big savings.
Oh, yeah. Well, what we do at our store is we have 2 people watching that whole area. And, and the reason for that is you really need 2 people there because you may run into, and I've run into this lots of times where there would be 3 people needing your help all at once, So it's, good to have a second person there. And, and yeah, they come there and, we help them if they don't know, and like the older people, senior citizens, a lot of them don't know how to use the stuff. The younger people actually know how to use it better than the older people.
Bruce, let me ask you. This something that really pisses me off, and I'm asking you not as a Walmart employee, just like when you shop or you go places. Are you
Yeah.
ever disgusted by the amount of people who get there and then, when they're told what the total is, then they just like at that second, rem- like reminds them that they have to pay for the stuff?
Oh yeah, we run into situations all the time. They, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll start, wanting to void stuff uh, from the purchase because they don't have enough money to pay for it. Uh, I've seen some get angry. Uh, I've seen I've seen all kind of different reactions from people,
I'm sure.
and
And I
especially in more recent times because everything pretty much across the board has gone up.
right. Everything
And
you buy is more expensive than it was before. But I
right,
wasn't even like referring to like I go to a supermarket and I have somebody in front of me. They scan and this is with a cashier, mind you,
right.
that they finally get there, they finish ringing up their things, and the cashier tells them how much it is, and they just look confused. Like
Oh yeah,
I don't even know how to describe it. Like, have you never been to a supermarket before? This is how it happens. You pick out your items, you get to the end, and you pay, and you get out of there as fast as you can. But I have
right.
these people looking like they don't know what the person's talking about.
Oh yeah. I've
And I'm
seen.
not talking about people like maybe he'll have difficulty with English or anything like that, but just I don't know. Like when I go to a grocery store or a supermarket, whatever, like when I'm getting close to the payment section, I start to get my card out or my cash out, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm in and out in 2 seconds, and these people take forever.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've encountered that lots of times, and you know, I I remember working on registers like that had a belt and just be dealing with a single customer at a time, have a line there, and you're up there trying to get your line down, and then there's that one customer like you're talking about, and they
That's
seem.
every customer in front of me.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's you know, it, yeah, some of the reactions that you get from these people, it's everything from confusion to anger to, how did it get to be that, they can't understand how it costs that much. I've actually had to show them on their receipt, and you can
Matching
pull up
up
a
every
slip,
item, right?
right? You can pull up a slip and go, even before they finish the transaction,
Oh, what'd you do? You sound much better now.
and then just point out to the people, well, look, you had this right here. This costs this much, and and you point it out to them, and then they see, you know, and some of them understand, oh, okay, all right, that's no wonder it got to be that high, but some don't. Some are still like,
Unbelievable.
and they're just angry, you know.
Mark King is asking us, you think the Gen Zers and others will be the end of us, USA? I don't think so.
Nah,
Mark says most of them are not even worth paying them to work at minimum wage pay. Joey's saying cash is going to be worthless, and then digital currency comes out. I said that with a laugh. Although, listen, to be honest, that's what it's gonna be a completely cashless world at some point,
oh
but
yeah,
not anytime soon. Just too many
I don't think
people.
I don't think you're looking at the next 20 years. You're going to see cashless.
No, I don't think 20 years is enough time either. Maybe so, but there used to be an inherent pride one took at their job that does not really exist today. Yeah, I don't know if it doesn't exist. It's just the areas that the younger people, the Gen Zers, are into. So
Well,
maybe
well, wait, I remember back in like 1971 when they told us we would have paperless office.
we practically do like 100 years later.
Well, compared to 100 years ago, yeah, I mean, we're close to, paperless, but no, we're not even really that close. I mean, think about it. I mean, how many times do you have to, yeah, I mean, I realize you work out of your house, JG, so you're not part of the real world, but how many, do you get paperless receipts anywhere you go? Or do they ask you, hey, you want us to give you the receipt, email it to you, or, or print it out?
No, I would say you're wrong. Like my job is pretty much, and listen, I've seen this industry for over, well, it's like 20 years now. But what I seen is when I started, it was paper. I mean, we had to sign up. Our applications / contracts were on three part, paper. And today it's completely electronic. Like nobody signs any paper. There's no papers going back and forth. Everything is email, electronic signature. So I've seen a pretty much it go from paper to paperless.
So when do we go to paper? No, where there's absolutely no paper involved.
If you sign up for my services, there are no papers, period.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, JG, you're in the Matrix, right?
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah. But anyways, let's see. Ooh, the American dollar being replaced. I love that conversation. Replaced by I mean, the people pushing for digital currency are talking about, getting rid of all what they call fiat currencies, which is all international currencies, and replacing it with something like Bitcoin or one worldwide currency. Welcome to big world government, right? Where one currency is the only currency. And and it's created and it lives out there in the netherworld. I just don't see it.
No, not. It'll eventually happen.
So I don't ever see. I can see. I can.
You have to do away with countries first, but
But
I
you'd
can
have
see it
to.
happen.
You'd have to do away with countries. You'd have to do with. You'd have to do with the idea of money. That somehow money from one country is worth more than a money from a different country.
Scott, I come from what I think is a unique perspective, but I think that national pride in all these different countries is a bad thing for the world itself, and the same thing with religions, because what they both do is they separate.
Yeah.
Whether I'm a U.S. person, great.
MK. Hold on, we got to say hello, MK.
MK, welcome to the program.
Yeah, I mean, so so you're thinking, like national pride and religions.
They're the great dividers because everybody, everybody comes from a different country. Everybody has a different religion, and these are the things that separate us, that don't bring us together. So I wish we could get past all that bullshit and just be one world. Because when the aliens come to destroy us, they're not going to care if you're Chinese, Russian, American. They're not going to care. They're just going to destroy.
No, I mean
that's the Star Trek in me.
Yeah, but I mean, the aliens aren't coming to destroy us. They like a lot of I mean. There aren't gremlins, changing votes inside of a machine. Like, I mean, all these great, science fiction, things out there, don't exist.
Scott, if an asteroid was headed straight for Earth, we couldn't stop it.
Here, I can't tell you.
Scott, if an asteroid was a huge asteroid was coming straight for Earth, Earth as a defense couldn't stop it.
No, the entire world's defenses could not stop it.
Right.
Not even
So
come.
maybe we should work together, not try to find differences.
Yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying is, I always laugh when, you have, the three biggest religions that fight each other, Jews, Christians, Muslims, all believe in this exact same God, right? The God of Abraham,
And they all say, don't kill.
Yeah. And they all, and they attack each other, right? The ones that don't believe in it, okay, Buddhism, Taoism, and, they're pretty much out of that argument because they just sit around, right?
The sad part is, Scott, that
Here we got here. Hold on. 100 years ago, you got about a nice suit for 1 ounce of gold. Hey, for 1 ounce of gold today, you could buy probably 5 or 6 good suits. Depends where you shop. Gold is and likely will always be a true international currency. Well, that's only if you think gold is rare, which we've come to find out, like aluminum really is not that rare. There's enough gold out there, but at what point does taking gold out of smaller, concentrations make money? I mean, there's probably, somebody once mentioned, okay, there's probably in the oceans, 500,000 to 600,000 times as much gold as we've ever discovered in the United States, just floating. MK wants to know if we're still singing.
I think she's asking Kuya Joy that.
Yeah, I know.
Kuya Joy, he sings.
Yeah. I just thought you were going to sing to me. If you're...
Well, Bruce found I turned Bruce on to a good song for him to sing, "Jet Airliner" by
which one?
Steve Miller Band. Jet Airliner.
Okay, yeah, for him, it'd be cool.
Hint, hint.
See, this is where I laugh. When people talk about rare earth metals.
You know what? I have some silver myself, and I get it. Maybe a little bit to hedge, but like I wouldn't be banking everything on gold or silver or something.
Okay, see, here, there's a cost, prohibitive price,
What? Bruce, you queuing up that song?
Oh. No,
hint.
I wasn't planning to sing on this panel.
I don't blame you, but I certainly appreciate it if you did. Let's see. What did we miss? Gold is and likely always will be their true international currency. I mean, if what's it called? Shit hits the fan, and maybe it's good to sit on gold. But like, if you need to buy, a case of water at your local store, are you gonna give them a gold coin for it? I mean, what are you gonna buy with it? I wrote and recorded several songs lately. Been living in the studio for weeks now. Mark likes Steve Miller Band. I don't. I hold 12% in precious metals. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a hedge. That's smart. If you cash stocks and everything all of a sudden became worthless, having some quantity of silver and gold. I keep saying silver because I actually own silver. I don't really own that much gold, but it's a hedge. Mark thinks that you can't sing a Steve Miller Band. I would take that as a personal challenge, and I would get singing that right now.
Oh boy.
If you're not up to
Well,
it,
somebody
you don't
you,
have
you were the one that had requested that.
yeah, I thought for your first
I
time you
sang
did
it,
very
you
well
know.
with it. Yeah, no, I realized it would only be your second time trying that song. I do too. I
Uh,
have more silver because it seems more liquid. Yeah, with the gold at like 1700, 1800 an ounce. You don't want to be paying gold prices for silver stuff. Just like, the world goes to shit and there's no like stores open and things like that. Maybe you go to a neighbor who has a farm, you know, do you want to give them gold for the eggs? How many eggs can you eat? How fast? Give them a little silver. Buy a few dozen eggs for some silver. Jab jab raw. Welcome to the program. Scoot's currently unavailable. He's in the toilet. All right. You know what? It's 11 o'clock here. I'm gonna end my side of the stream anyway. Maybe he'll stay open.
yeah.
But Bruce, thanks for coming up, man. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure. Hey, James, how you doing? Hola.
Hola, mamacita.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get down because it's 10 o'clock and uh
You gotta talk
here.
to MK. No, but thanks,
Oh,
Bruce.
doing
Have a
okay,
good
James.
night.
How are you doing? Doing okay.
Jim roll.
Yeah.
Only on Scoop B program. All right, I'm gonna
Oh,
punch out of here. Have a good night, everybody. I'm just
yeah.
tired.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, I suppose I should stay up here till Scoot gets back up here. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. I think Scoot's having problems with his internet, and so anyway, anyway, I'll I'll hang out up here for a few minutes till Scoot gets back up so he can end the stream. All right. Yeah. Well, it's I think it started out as Scoot's live, and then JG started streaming on his channel. There is a way you can do that using StreamYard. Now I chose not to stream on my channel. Uh yeah, the host has left his own live. Oh boy. And I don't know where he is. I don't know what it's going to take to get him back up here, but yeah, he needs to come back up and end this thing cuz there's nothing I can do to end it. Uh You know, yeah. So, Scoot, if you're around, can you get back up here? Now, the other option would be that I could, uh, yeah, can the host go to the bathroom for you? That's a good question. I don't think he can go to the bathroom for me either. But he's disappeared and I don't know what's happened to him. You know, I could try to send him a, a message on Facebook Messenger maybe and see if he'll reply. But I don't know. Let's see. Let me see if I can find him. Well, okay. I sent him a message, but I don't know if he'll reply or not. Yeah, I bet B Joy's done hit him with the pan. I think you're right. Oh my goodness. And there's 6 people out here watching right now. Oh boy. Well, you know, one other option would be I could just leave and then everybody else would leave and maybe at some point in time he'll end the stream. But I sure don't know how to end it. Not as it is right now. I think yeah, well I know JG left. JG said he was getting tired. It's getting late over there in New York. So I've been abandoned. I have been abandoned up here, James. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, my goodness. Even if somebody wanted to come up here on the panel, I couldn't get them up here. Oh, boy. Crazy, ain't it? Yeah, Scoot is stuck. Yeah. You reckon he's stuck on the toilet? Hey, BT, what's going on? What's going on, man? Oh boy, this isn't this something? BT's over in Scoot's live stream, and Jeb Jam Raw is over in uh JG's live stream. Well, no, Scoot started the stream, and then JG he clicked on this thing up here. It says stream this to your audience. So that's what he did, and he started a stream on his channel. So now I'm left up here all abandoned. Yeah. Yeah. I think Scoot's having internet problems, and well, JG just decided he was tired and wanted to get down and go sleep. Oh boy, this is funny. Well, BT's over at Scoot's channel, and you're over on JG's channel, so that's what the problem is.
All right. Hey, man,
There's
sorry
Scoop.
about that.
That's all right.
I lost, I guess, lost the internet connection or whatever.
Ah, okay. Okay, the controller has taken the reins.
Hey, are you going to start a live stream or
No, I'm not going to start one.
no?
Nah,
All right.
I'm not tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, James is out there in the crowd. Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
BT.
Yeah. BT's over on your channel.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, JG's over on yours.
well, I'm not streaming.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not streaming. I didn't click on stream this to your audience. I
Oh,
just chose not to.
all right. So, just running naked around the bedroom.
No, I'm not doing that either. But I do need to step away just a minute. I'll be right back.
Excuse us all as Bruce goes to do a little pee pee. I don't know what happened. I lost my internet for a while. If anyone else wants to join up here, they can. Yeah, Trump 20. I can't see it happening though. James. I mean, the guy's losing. The guy's losing big time. I mean, and no offense, but the Trumpster is becoming the dumpster. Just the way it is. Oh yeah, it's toilet time with Shooting Star.
All right. I'm back.
Yeah. Hey, so MK said it must be toilet time with Shooting Star. Yeah, and both of us know she, been there, done that.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I lost like internet. I mean nothing. Jim John says this is the way pulling up the Mandalorian, speech. But
Oh yeah.
so,
Now you
anyway,
know if you wanted to, there is a way you could end the stream on JG's channel if you want to.
how do I do that?
Okay. If you look up right above the chat, you're gonna see like an icon for you and an icon for him. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Now click on his.
All right, so I can remove him.
Well, yeah, you could, there's a way of removing his.
View
And
on
when you do, it'll end the stream on his channel.
view on YouTube, or you just let it run for like 6 days.
Well, if you do that, if you're going to run it for 6 days, that means you got to keep yours running for 6 days.
I can do that. Yeah. And, I'll put the camera, camera looking in an empty chair and change the title to ASMR. Did you ever wonder what those were? ASMRs, where, I mean, people had their webcam, I mean, there was one lady, I mean, she had a pile of books.
Right.
Okay. And, so I watched the pile of books and the candle burning in the background. And the only thing I could think after 2 or 3 hours is like, is the candle going to set the books on fire?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so, I mean, I don't know. Actually, I never understood that. I mean, JG, brought these up to me. ASMR, videos out there. Um, so hey, here's a question for you.
All right.
Star, how much do you charge for tech support?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
yeah.
he could charge me whatever he wants. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask James what. Here, let me type it down.
yeah. What do you think it's worth? Hey, Shiner's in the house. Another one of them Southerners. What's so funny about that? You're a Southerner.
That's right.
Huh.
Us good old Southern boys.
Huh. I mean, one wears a kilt, the other one doesn't, but it's all right. One wears a kilt, the other one likes goats. Still same. One wears a kilt and really likes sheep. Still got nothing against it.
Oh boy.
What do I think it's worth? Now, if I was paying, if actually, I'll be honest. If I was paying, I hate to ask tech support questions like I asked, to Bruce. I'd be looking at paying. I wouldn't have a problem paying $20 for it. So, Bruce, tell me where I send the $20. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I always, oh no, he doesn't have to, $250 startup. See, there again, James, you were right there. $250 for a startup and $20 an hour. I ain't got a problem with that. I mean, here, that's what basically that's what I do is like tech support. Right? That's what I do. Somebody asked me, what do I do? I advise people on how to fix machinery. I guess is the best way I could put it. Technical support. Whether it be in person or like that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Actually, I've never been asked, and they probably couldn't afford me. Somebody asked me, how much do I get paid? I said, I get paid enough. And if I actually had to break down to how much I make per hour, it scares me. I had to laugh. I got a friend of mine. He says, "Well, how much you make per hour?" So, me like actually working per hour, or sitting around per hour.
Well, we got to get paid for our time.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you work at Walmart, and I said, see, that's working hours. I mean, you actually walk in, you punch in, and you start working. Right?
Yeah.
And most of the day, 90% or 95% of the time, you're doing something, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, BT. Oh boy.
Yeah. But here,
well, I mean, that's what I agreed to do at Walmart. But now we're talking about me being a tech support
right
here, which that would be freelancing.
Somebody said, "Well, what do you do?" I said, "Well, I walk in, and because I refuse to take a salary, I said, no, you pay me by the hour." And they said, "Okay, show up at this time." Right. And every night, it's like, and we kind of settled on like 12 or 14 hours a day. that I'm there?
Love, are you still strong?
Yeah.
Can you please open?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, hey, B-Joy.
Come here. Bruce.
No.
Show your camera,
no.
Bruce. She said she can't unless your camera's on. She can't come here. Come on.
Hold on.
Come on. Bruce said, there it is.
Yeah.
You
Hello.
don't-
Hey, B-Joy.
I didn't know you were that scary to look at. I gotta open her drink.
Oh, okay. All right.
What did you do to this thing?
No, enough. It may spell to you.
Gosh, there.
Good. Go like. Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Anyways, bye, Bruce.
Hello.
So, anyways, somebody asked me, says, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, so I walk in, and I say hi to the guard, and I go to the bathroom, and depending on how I feel, I might be there 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
Then I get up, and I walk around a little bit. Then I go in and see the plant manager. We sit down and chat for a bit. And he tells me all the big problems they had. And he says, okay, then I go around and, talk to a few people.
Yeah.
And it just depends on the days. I mean, some days I hit the ground running, but they pay me for what I know, not what I do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard concept for a lot of people. I mean, when you go to a car mechanic, what are you paying for? You're paying for what he knows, and you hope he can do what he says he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's, by the way, BT's been in the Philippines exactly 1 year.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And he did a stream. It was this morning here. Last night over there.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And I missed it, unfortunately, but here, my question is, when I get to the Philippines, Bruce, are you coming over with me? No, because I have a perfect job for you at the farm.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of, is that you want me to work.
No. No, it's not work. It's I mean, I need somebody to be in charge of goat husbandry, and
To be in charge of what?
the goat husbandry. It doesn't mean you have to be the husband of the goat. Just just keep track of all that stuff.
Oh.
RMA 1958. I remember 1958.
Yes. Yeah,
I think Bruce was born in 1958.
that's my birth date.
Yeah.
And born in Brooklyn, New York.
Well, everyone's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah. That's
Bruce,
just like it's
Bruce,
5 o'clock in the world somewhere.
I think Bruce was born in 1958.
Yeah. Yeah, sure was.
He's another 1958er.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Yeah.
some
How are you doing?
was there a little more age?
All right.
58 was a good year, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great year.
I mean, Jeb Jam came from Haiti, ended up in Brooklyn. So, yeah, all's good.
Well, Scoot, your 2 co-hosts up here right now were born in 1958. That ought to say it all right there.
I always laugh when people say, well, they talk about the good old days. And he said, well, let me think back to the good old days. I mean, from your childhood, what is better today than when you were growing up, and what's worse?
Well,
I mean, you have the ability to sit here and talk to somebody thousands of miles away.
Yeah, I was going to say technology is better.
Oh, back then, if you made a long distance phone call, you paid the phone company a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sure did.
I mean, I remember I happened to pick up a phone call, and it was a collect call from my aunt, to my mother. And will you accept the charges? Like, sure. And then but I knew my mom was like 2 doors over, so I went over and got her. And then of course she was yakking, and she says, "Oh, shut up, just wait." Right. But after like 10 minutes, she says, "So what's so important?" She says, "Your sister's on the phone." Well, tell her I'll call her back. Yeah, but it's long distance. And my mom, got on the phone. Then she found out it was collect long distance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I didn't think I sat for a week.
That's even more.
Yeah. I mean, she tanned my, she basically tanned my fanny. I don't think I sat for a week. I could have ran into the house and screamed, "Your sister's on long, Auntie's on long distance, collect." But when I said it, she's quiet because she was playing sheets at the time, but she had to wait for the hand in. So,
JD says he's getting ready for bed. Busy day tomorrow.
and nobody wants to see him getting ready for bed. But yeah, but I told somebody, I said, "So, what part of the good old days is better than today?" I was laughing when people say, "Well, let's go back to the good old days." So, Bruce, if you could go back in time, what would you like to have today that you do not have?
Well, some of the things that I miss about the good old days would
Yeah.
be, it'd be things like, my mom's cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like as far as society goes.
Well, I know for us around in this area, there was a lot less crime back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were a lot less people.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. There was less people.
Here's the thing I thought kind of funny is, when you look at it, crime per 100,000 people really still is not, gone up. I mean, it's about the same as it was, 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to school and only paying a couple of pennies for a carton of milk.
Oh yeah. I mean, like we could buy a lunch at school for like what, 25 cents, 30 cents.
Yeah.
Hey, JG's asking, how was your vacation, RMA?
It was pretty good. I mean, like I said, it was last September. I like the vow. I know he doesn't think much of it, but a lot of people say that because it's not a place if you want to party or you're looking for entertainment or anything.
It's there. I've gone to Davao since first time I went to Davao was in 1998.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they got a real modern new mall there now, and it's not as quite as well. The traffic is sort of bad, but not like Manila.
Yeah, and here's the part that always killed me. I mean, I go into this with oh gosh, JG, I didn't even know that. MK's asking if you're wearing boxes when you sleep in her pajamas. And he said, no, he's going commando. Yeah. Nobody needed to know that. But anyway. Okay, maybe maybe Bruce needed to know that, but nobody.
I don't need to know.
Send pictures. Send pictures. You don't believe you? Send pictures.
I don't need to know.
But anyways, But I always laugh. I said, I told somebody. He said, well, see, only in America, do you want to go somewhere else and find everything the same place, the same way it is in America. Americans do that. I mean, I spent half my life living outside of the U.S. And one thing I've found out is most people like a lot of stuff we have here in the U.S., but very few want to live like they were in the U.S. I mean, it's a hard concept for Americans to understand, but that's what I've just come to realize over the years. I mean, when I lived in Kuwait, oh yeah, I mean, I run into people from Iraq, loved our music, loved our our movies, loved all sorts of things. Like, didn't hate Americans, doesn't hate America at all. Just doesn't agree with our morals. So, you look like a military. Wait. What is MK saying? Hey, Bruce, can you read this? You look like a military. That's good. Pick up your ripple, put in your side. Oh, I don't even know that. At JG, I lived half my life in another dimension. Actually, I did. I mean, I remember, as a kid, The Outer Dimension, my favorite show. So, anyways, neighbors would borrow a cup of sugar and not get shot. Yeah. No. I mean, can you imagine that nowadays? Nowadays, I mean, that's four times in in less than a week that people have gone, pulled in the wrong driveway or whatever, knocked on the door, rang a doorbell, and got shot. It's MK. I'm biting my tongue. Yeah, either use biting your tongue or it's really cold in here. Either one. Anyways, but no, I mean, I'm amazed. When I talk to people, I said, well, they're always talking about the good old days. What are the good old days? What day is that? Could it be day in November? I remember a day in November when they basically shut down the schools, rolled in TVs, and I watched the newscaster cry. The year was 1963. And I still remember it to this day because it was traumatic.
Oh, I was watching that on TV, and I didn't even know who that was because at that time I was too young. Yeah. But
you were probably in what, kindergarten at that time?
Yeah, and I don't know who it was, but I'm watching on TV.
I mean, my youngest brother, right? The only brother. Well, my youngest brother is still alive. Right? He was in kindergarten at that time, and he still remembers it because he was in afternoon kindergarten, but the other, the ones in morning kindergarten, because they used to do the morning afternoon thing back then, they don't know about it. They, because they were only 5 at the time. 58ers. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So I said, at what point do you want to go back to the good old days? I mean, I remember as a kid, growing up in Florida. Now I was born in Wisconsin, and my dad moved around a little bit, not in the military, and went out, spent time in Omaha, ended up down in Clearwater, Florida, and and I remember going around and seeing signs up saying, hey, whites only. That was okay. That was the good old days. I mean, I always tell people, I said, so, what good old days are you looking for? I mean, tell me what was better then than we have today. When I ask about, here, you want to go back to the good old days of telephone service?
Yeah.
When you used to pick up the phone and tap on the receiver, 10, 12, 15 times waiting for a dial tone. And then when you got the dial tone, you went.
Yeah. Oh, and then there was the air raids.
Yeah.
Go in the hallway.
Yep. Yeah. Running hallways, duck and cover. All the others. Yeah. Davo Don is in the house. Hey, let's get Davo Don up here, and he can tell us what the good old days were. But when people always talk about the good old days, so when were they? I mean, I realize everyone has its nostalgia. They think somewhere in their past, somewhere in their past, that it was better than it is today. But when you ask them, do you want to go back there? None of them ever do. The irony of being old is I remember when I used to run around. I used to leave my house and just drive around. Take my bike. I see neighbors' garden hose out there. Yeah, that's where we got our water from, a garden hose. I'm gonna risk going up fence line with my my single shot 22 hunting rabbits. Yeah. But there again, that's Don, it's not safe here. Hey Don, how you doing? Are you still fishing off the the back porch? But anyways, oh, MK, nobody needed to know that. Nobody needed to know that. But I, so when everyone always talks about they want to go back to the good old days, it's I said, so at what point where the day's good and and now they're now they're bad. I guess I mean, I realize people are against change, and whatever, and I think people people in the in the entire world have gotten to this point where you get too butthurt. And they whine and complain about, things that really don't matter. I mean, when's the last time you cared about, what kind of clothes the next door neighbor wore? Dave Lute from Mississippi. How you doing? I mean, when's the last time you cared about,
Hey, Russell.
Who anyone is? I mean, like, look at Shooting Star. He runs around in a kilt. Nobody cares.
No, I don't. You made that up.
And he looks good in the kilt, right? I mean, and he's got the legs for a kilt. I couldn't wear a kilt. Just saying.
Well, I sure as heck don't wear a kilt.
What you stopped wearing the kilt? I just run around naked.
I don't run around naked either.
Naked as Jaybird.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. Is I mean, what do I care about? What somebody else wears. I mean, if we were going somewhere, I mean, all honesty, Bruce and I were going somewhere, and and he showed up wearing a Speedo, I would not, hesitate, put my arm around and say, "Come on, let's go." It's just the way it is. But MK says, JG being naked, you look like an earthworm. Yeah, BT says I wear t-shirts sometimes in the house, but mostly not. Did anyone need to know that? James says the good old days is when real men didn't make gay jokes. Actually, real men never made gay jokes. But then again, real men really never cared about gay guys. So, anyways, hey Bruce, are you doing a live later?
No.
No. MK, are you? And RMA, I think RMA left.
No, I'm here.
Okay. So, yeah. So, yeah, but so there again, I'm going to ask you that question again. So, what exactly, when people say, I mean, here in the U.S., I mean, this is the big thing is we got to get back to our core values, and this, that. So, what exactly are they? I can't get anyone to give me an answer on that. I don't care which side, they're on, I mean, when I say, okay, so, give me a date back in the past that you want to go back to. And, let's reset and go back there. I mean, simple enough. I mean, you want to go back before we had, video, before we had, I mean, you want to go back before cell phones? At what point did we go that wrong that we have to go back and reset? And at what point, I mean, my next question always is at what point does your perception of what is right and wrong become different than mine? Because trust me, there is nobody in this entire, audience or in the entire world that wants me to decide what is right and wrong. Because my idea of right and wrong is very concrete. It's black and white. There's no shades of gray. And nobody ever asked me about, all I do is when they attack somebody, say, oh, yeah, but if you're looking shades of gray, then they're probably in that gray area.
Well, that would be nice to go back and get stock that from the past. Yeah, that would be something.
XRP, yeah. But I mean, when people ask me, the dark cloud coming. Yeah, there is no dark cloud. I mean, there's never been.
20 cents a gallon gasoline.
You want to go back to $1 a gallon gasoline, then fine. They take a 40% cut and pay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it takes. I mean, if you want to go back to those, to those times, they said, remember what you had. I mean, people today, XRP. Again, one of those, one of these. I mean, cryptocurrency. I laughed when Bitcoin showed up, and I said, okay, so you're talking about I should pay real money to buy something that you dreamed up that is backed by nothing, and that's what all crypto is.
Yeah, all it is based off of demand. If
Crypto
there's
is.
a demand on it, then it'll rise.
Well, I laugh, when people were, were saying, well, all the hoopla over Budweiser, and some lady boy out there, they lost $7 billion. Yeah, and their stock price has nothing to do with the actual company. What it is what people think their stock is worth, because companies issue stock. The money, when they issue stock, goes to them. They can invest it, do whatever, stick it in their pocket, scratch your butt with it, whatever they want to do. Right? That money belongs to them. At that point, it just now becomes the same as crypto. Stock prices are what people think the company might be worth if it went out of business and filed bankruptcy. Look how well that works at Bed Bath and Beyond when they go through bankruptcy. Or
Yeah.
Liquidate everything. The deal is that a lot of people bought in. This person is going to save. No, they overpriced it. I mean, every country, every company here is that. Yeah.
Hey, Scoot, I need to get down.
All right.
All right. I will see you later. And
All right, brother. You
Yeah.
take care.
Okay, y'all take care. All right.
All right. Bye.
JG wants me to close his live stream. Okay. Well, admit it. But as far as Jeb James thing, and Davo, about Sudan and that. I mean, let's be honest. Who cares about Sudan? When is the last time you actually talked about Sudan?
Yeah.
Nobody does. Right? I mean, nobody cared about Afghanistan, in the 80s. Nobody cared about it in the 90s. It was only after, a bunch of planes hit, oh my God, we got to do something about Afghanistan.
Yeah. Yeah. It took that for.
And then there was the thing about, whoever brokered the deal or how it happened and whatever, and when he left, it was a terrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the bottom line is, today, who cares? When's the last time you heard one thing about Afghanistan? No. If war breaks out in the Philippines, Americans would be slaughtered by who? I'm just James. James, you got to give me better reasoning behind that. Who would kill him? I've seen Biden giving a speech, and didn't blink for over a minute and 30 seconds, that's not normal. Or it was photoshopped.
Hmm.
I mean, I mean, this part that kills me, especially today. Right? If you see something that just doesn't seem real, is it true or is it Maybelline? I mean, So anyways, hey, I'm gonna end this live stream anyways. Hey brother.
Yeah. All right.
But I always loved the entire I loved the the in and out, but I've still not got one person tell me what good old day they want to go back to. Name a day in history. Name a day in history you want to go back to where it all went wrong. Tell me that day. I mean, you're like Dava down, you want to talk about the current president, but the last president, I mean, I can run down, I'm not a fan of the current president any more than the last president. I mean, the last president, I didn't think he should be reelected, but early stage dementia, like Dava, I mean, you look at some of the comments made by, the ex-president in the last few days. Yeah. And it's like, you forgot what you said 2 months ago or 3 months ago.
But the problem is, though, it's hard to find someone that is good that has enough money to get in there.
Well, that's the problem is, I've made the argument, for 30 years is that, what we have to do is stop this two-party system we have in the U.S. I'd much rather have a parliamentary system where you have 50 parties, that all have just small minorities, and and fight it out amongst themselves to put someone in charge instead of what we have today. This winner takes all, then it's me against them. Instead of all of us, working together, I can't agree with you on 50%, but I can agree with you the other 50%, and you can't agree with this person 70%, but you can agree 30%, but I agree with them, 25%, and we can fight it out, in small little groups. Parliamentary systems, to me, make a whole lot more sense. The two-party system we have here in the U.S., it's been institutionalized. It ain't the best system.
The last I remember is Ross Perot. He tried to break in with a third party.
Yeah. But see, the problem is here in the U.S., like they have a two-party system that's inbred. That's been inbred into into our democracy. I mean, they started out, as a, it should have been, any party, but then when the first two parties got the power, they basically passed laws that says, well, unless you get a certain percentage of the vote, your vote won't count. Like as a libertarian, like myself, voted every election. You know how many elections, my votes count? 0. Switched over to the Republican Party just so my vote could count, so I could vote for the Libertarian. Because see, unless you're in the top 2, your name's not going to appear on the ballot. Instead of saying, hey, you know what? Let's take the top 4, run them down to top 2, and let the last top 2 fight it out. I mean, give people a choice. Saville on slavery. Yeah, I read Thomas Saville on slavery, and it's a great read. Not really. I mean, history-wise, history of slavery. Saville is a little off. Anyways, you guys take care. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get out of here, brother.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Good night.
You take care, brother.
Thank you. You too.